Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here with Bryan Detchou. He is the Senior Director of Natural Resources, Environment and Sustainability at the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. Bryan, let's take a look at that other aspect of your title, Environment and Sustainability. I'd just like to get your sense as we're moving forward with these natural resources project. I mean, everybody says has to be, environmentally sensitive and sustainable, but there's obviously been a historical contradiction between very fast economic development of some of these resources and environmental sustainability. So again, I'd love to get your insight on how you square the circle on that.
Absolutely. And, I was mentioning this at the top when we were talking about Bill C5. Certainly, as we ask for greater speed, that does not mean that we ignore our environmental responsibilities. We are pushing for these national projects, so these projects of national interest, not only for our energy security, economic security, but, these are also efforts to ensure that we are reducing global emissions, that we are decarbonizing our economy, and that we are decarbonizing economies around the world. One thing that you and I know, Tony, very well is that emissions do not respect borders. So I
Right.
think that when we're talking about developing Canadian LNG and exporting our LNG, that's in the hope of displacing dirtier sources of fuel being consumed elsewhere in the world. So all these projects, they are. I would say this is Canada stepping up. This is Canada playing a much bigger role in reducing global emissions, because we do know that the resources that we produce in Canada, for the most part, are produced with the highest level of environmental standards, with the highest level of community engagement and consultation, and we want that to continue. What we're asking for, Tony, is that there has to be some type of middle ground between projects taking a decade plus to be permitted and something that would be done in 2 weeks. We're not asking for that. We're just asking for a much speedier process.
Yeah, because to be fair or to be accurate, let's put it that way, a lot of these projects have been stalled for years and years because of environmental activists who have used the court system or used demands for consultation to make sure that these projects never get approved. So clearly, that's not in the best interest of everyone, although I think Canadians would like to see a lighter footprint if at all possible.
Absolutely, and I think again, we're hoping to build these projects for the benefit of Canadians and for the benefit of the pursuit towards the reduction of overall global emissions. I think another thing that we need to accept and understand as well, and I think the role of government and the role of industry, or certainly the role of government in this case, is to be transparent with Canadians and to be transparent with citizens. We do know that not all these projects will necessarily work out. Some may under deliver, some may fail altogether, and certainly we need to be very careful when government resources and taxpayer money is being used to support these projects. But we need to understand that we need to start getting open to taking risks, and I think that part of the stagnation that we've seen in the Canadian economy, part of the reason we see projects taking decades to be built, if they're built at all, is I think the culture of risk taking perhaps is leaving Canada, and that's what we're trying to bring back. So yes, not everything will be perfect, but the risk of doing nothing is greater than the risk of doing something and maybe not scoring an A+ across
Right.
the board.
We've got we've got about 25 seconds left, but your last point on greater risk. Do you think your chamber members are they saying we need to take more risks right now?
I think our members are ready to step up and support the government in achieving the two primary goals that were set out: to make Canada an energy superpower
Mhm.
and to make Canada the strongest economy in the G7. We're ready to step up to achieve that.
Bryan, it's great having you on the program. Thanks for your insights today.
Thank you very much for your time, Tony.
That was Bryan Detchou of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce talking about our natural resources development, how that could change for the better generationally in the near future. Thanks for watching today.